Yeah.
When I came here, I knew nobody. That wasn't much of a struggle rather than being alone, learning how to be alone.
Welcome to I'm Out Media, where we explore the stories and strategies of exceptional individuals venturing beyond the norm. I'm your host, Nathan Hornstein, today speaking with Sebastian Tuma, an Ecuadorian living in Panama, founder of VISO Films. Let's hear his story.
Awesome to see you, Sebastian.
Nice to
How are
see
you
you
doing?
too, Dejan. I'm good. I'm good. I have some coffee in my bloodstream. I got some rest today. I did some work, so I'm good.
Is the caffeine hitting you hard already?
Well, it's been hitting me hard since like 8 in the morning,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's gradual. It comes and goes, and we're in a very good place to have coffee. Panama and Café Unido, man, best of the best for me.
Why are we meeting at Café Unidos, especially?
Café Unido is a very special place for me because I started working with them when I came here in Panama. They were one of my first big clients, and with them I got to know the whole specialty coffee scenery and world. So now I'm like an aficionado. I really like good coffee. I really like specialty coffee. I try to make it with the right amounts and water and stuff. So it's special for me because they have good coffee, and I have a very, let's say, some of roots in Panama with Café Unido. So I like
Yeah.
it.
So what would you say is the best coffee that you had here in Panama when you're an addict now?
Oh, the best coffee I've had in Panama, man. It's a very hard question because they have so many good coffees in so many like different presentations, with so many people that prepare them that it's hard to say. I was in a place where they set up and try coffee, a cata they call it. I don't know how to say it in English, but Café Unido did one where the best brewer of the world came to Panama, and they brewed us a coffee from 19 Plus. That is 19 Plus is a place of in Boquete, a Panamanian coffee finca, and she brewed something that was like I don't know what. I remember it was a geisha,
Oh,
but
geisha.
it was as soon as it touched my tongue, it was like a new experience. So I
Wow.
think that was like the more wow coffee that I had.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. Geisha coffee really blew my mind. I didn't even know it existed, and it's a firework on your taste buds.
Yeah, it's super weird. Super weird.
You mentioned you're a videographer, and you're not from Panama. So, where are you from? What are you doing?
I'm from Ecuador. I lived in Ecuador for 21 years. I was studying there uh, after high school and stuff. Uh, I went to study business in Ecuador, and after 1 year and a half, I was like, I'm done with this. And I flew all the way to Argentina
Okay.
to study film. And after living 5 years in Argentina, the opportunity presented to come here to Panama. After I studied, I quickly began to work in Argentina with video production. I started doing weddings, cinematic weddings. I learned by a very cool guy called Ismael Gonzalez and Andres Proaño, like my senseis of wedding filmmaking and filmmaking in
Yeah.
general. And as soon as I moved here, one of the things that happened was that back home in Quito, I was like, I'm Sebastian Tuma. I have my name, my parents, my family. You have cousins, you have friends that can. Oh, I have this friend who does video.
Yeah.
When I came here, I knew nobody. I just had one friend from Panama that I met in Argentina, actually.
Wow.
Um, so as soon as I came here, it was like very weird for me to get work, or it was hard. I had a good product, but I quickly learned that it's not actually. It's yes the quality of your work, but also who do you know.
Yeah.
So it was like 1 year and a half that I was here in Panama, and I came back and forth to Ecuador to do weddings in Ecuador. and I started losing some clients here because I wasn't like based in Panama.
All
People
right.
felt like I was
Yeah.
not, you're not here.
Not committed to the cause.
Yes. So then I was committed to the cause, and I was like, I'm not traveling back to Ecuador. I'm staying here. So I started my own production company. It's called VISO Films, and it's also VISO Weddings in Instagram. And yeah, I started, working on video production here in Panama.
Yeah, you're doing some very incredible work. But let's jump back to that first decision to move abroad. You said you studied business and essentially you went, all right, I'm out. How did you pick Argentina and how was that first experience in a different country for you?
Well, as soon as I was like, okay, I'm out, I don't want to learn any more business, it's not for me. My brother, he's in literature, languages, and all of that. He was more of the poet of the family. I was more sociable and stuff. He was more like books, more artsy. So I talked to him and I was like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to study, but I don't want to study business. So he was like, okay, maybe photography, maybe sociology, whatever. And he presented to me a study plan in Argentina. I knew that I wanted to go from Ecuador.
Yeah.
So to change scenery, to get to know myself, and he presented me with a plan, a free university, state university
Wow.
in Argentina. As a foreigner, you don't have to pay, just like $100 for the first time you go, and then it's free.
Fantastic.
So I ended up studying there, and that's when I moved abroad to Argentina.
Yeah. So you're very close to your family, I assume.
Yes, I am. Latin American culture in general, it's a bit tight with family, and yes, of course, since I moved abroad and everything, we've grown our distance and stuff because I live in another country. But it's pretty normal for me going back to Ecuador, either if it's for business or just I recently went there just to visit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're close with the family.
And how did you handle that at the beginning? Was it tough? How did you maintain that relationship with them?
Oh man, it was not. Oh, so it was tough. It was a bit tough because I'm not too proud to admit that I was always also like a mama's, daddy's boy. They always gave me everything. They were always there. And when I went to Argentina, and like cleaning my own stuff, doing my own thing, having to go and buy my food or whatever, it was nice. It was nice, but it was a bit, weird to learn that type of thing. That wasn't much of a struggle rather than being alone, learning how to be alone.
Yeah.
Learning how to, get acquaintance with other people from other cultures. People from Argentina are very nice. They're very creative, very outgoing, very sociable, very cosmopolitan. But they have their ways also. So that my first struggle was social thing.
Okay.
So I ended up doing what every other Latin American does in another country, meeting up with people from their own country.
Yeah,
And I did good friendships there from Ecuador, but
Yeah.
that's what I did. That was the first struggle.
And then you did the second exit from Argentina to Panama.
Yes.
How did you choose Panama?
So Panama came to be because I was in a previous relationship, and she was working in Argentina for Procter & Gamble, and Argentina began to decline. So a lot of international companies started moving. So she got the offer to move to Panama, and I was like, oh, Panama, like what's there? I didn't know anything. Like I tell you, the only thing I knew from Panama was my friend that I met in Argentina. But I was like, okay, let's go. And that was what brought me here. And then I just fell in love. I just fell in love with this. Of course, my previous relationship ended. But my love from Panama was started there, and then I'm happy that I stayed.
Yeah.
After that, yes.
And you mentioned earlier you were traveling back and forth a little bit, but then you decided to stay here and really make this the center of your life. How did that change? What changed when you chose it to make it your center?
It was a bit letting go. Letting go of the maybe like false sense of security of what you know.
Yeah.
Of thinking that, you know, that sounds a bit cliche, but the comfort zone.
Yeah.
It was that. It was a bit more committing to myself. It was a decision made from maturity, independence. I was working with a friend in Ecuador, so it made things easier. You know, half of the business was made abroad, so I didn't have to take good care of, you know, managing clients and stuff. So making the decision to be here and stay here and making this a base was making a decision for myself, like betting on myself that I can do it by myself, um, and that I can be, you know, the center of my own thing.
Yeah.
So that was what drove the decision of saying, okay, actually, like the actual choice or that mindset came because I lost the wedding. I'm a wedding filmmaker, like I told you, and someone booked me for their wedding, and they had like a pre-wedding session months before the wedding, and I was traveling back and forth, and they were trying to meet with me. So one date we were actually coincide. We were going to shoot, but rain poured in Panama, tropical. So we were like, okay, let's reschedule. And every time they wanted to, I couldn't because I was traveling.
Yeah.
So they ended up saying like, you know, we're not gonna hire you. So then I
Damn.
was like, holy shit, I'm
Yeah.
actually jeopardizing my future here because I'm always there. So blah blah blah. And then I started, you know, thinking about this, getting out of my comfort zone, providing for myself, being more independent.
To me, as a European, all of South America and Central America, I don't really know much about it. But you just said, you know, you were really surprised about what Panama was like. And for me, this is, oh, you're just from around the corner from Ecuador. What is it like culturally? What are the differences? What it's like? Yeah, what did you discover? You're from here. You know all the differences. You know the nuances.
Panama is a very hot country, and not only in the sense of like climate, but it's people are awake. People, you know, they move. They
All the coffee.
yes, well, I think so. Also, I think it's a matter of Quito, where I'm from. I'm from Quito, Ecuador. Quito is a bit more cold. You know, we put stuff around us. It's a bit more conservative in that way because Panama is also conservative in a lot of ways, but but Quito, Ecuador is a bit more cold. We don't say things. We're not like loud, very loud. Here, people are loud. People, you know, they speak their mind. They're more like, hey, they talk faster.
Yeah.
So and they are a bit more. I think since Ecuador and Quito, and that's more of a, you know, going back to history stuff. But I think the Spanish conqueror in Ecuador was a bit more violent than
Okay.
here in Panama. Panama
Yeah.
was a very good port for storing treasures and was hit by pirates and stuff. But Ecuador was a bit more. Quito especially was a bit more. You know, they imposed. I feel a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm not an historian, but that's what I think that happened. I've thought about that. So we're a bit more quiet, a bit more, you know, like this.
Yeah.
Panamanians are a bit more, they put themselves like a bit more out there.
I feel also that they are very proud of the nation.
Yes, well, yes. Yeah, I feel it also. There's a lot of people who maybe complain about stuff, but yeah, I mean, don't mess around with Panama, man. The first 2 years that I was here, I was like, I'm not gonna criticize anything because
Yeah.
you criticize some stuff and you can get in trouble, you know.
Yeah. We talked about a lot of the challenges that you experienced moving and being in Ecuador, in Argentina, and then coming to Panama. Missing your family and everything. Is it still worth it? Would you do it again?
100%. I will always, you know, miss being with my core family
Yeah.
or my origin family. Um, Nevertheless, I think everyone has their own path in life. I mean, you can always grow from somewhere, and where you go will always be up to you. And who you grow with and what family do you make for yourself, it's also what counts. So
Yeah.
I'll do it again thousands of times. I met my wife here. We have a 5-member family. It's 2 dogs, a cat, her and I. So yeah, I definitely do it. Sometimes I miss my nephew, my niece.
Yeah.
But like I tell you, you know, I made my own family, so I'm glad I did.
And what advice would you give your 10 years younger self today?
Oh, definitely start doing jiu-jitsu. Again, it's going to be a bit cliche, but don't be afraid to chase what you want. Don't wait. Don't wait to do something or be someone to start doing what you really honestly want to do.
Yeah.
You want to do documentaries about plants, man, do it now. Go for it, and put your heart into it. And also, you know, like I said, training jiu-jitsu and training your mind also. Like, I wish I'd read a few books before. I mean, everything's perfect like as it is, but that's what I would tell myself.
Yeah. And what's your favorite place here in Panama?
My favorite place here in Panama City, or
Yeah, well, in the entire country. You know, of all the places you've seen as a videographer traveling around, maybe your favorite place is not in Panama, you know, but what is your favorite place when you give a recommendation to me to visit?
Okay, wow. So Panama is a very small country, and you can meet, like in a week, you can get to really know stuff. My favorite place, personally, a bit corny, my house, my home. I love it. I live in front of the ocean with my dogs, my cat, with my wife.
Fantastic.
So that's my favorite place. Regarding, you know, filmmaking and wowness, and a place that is amazing. It's called Escudo de Veraguas. The Veraguas Shield.
That
It's
little island in front of Panama.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a small island outside of Panama. You go to all the way, like Almirante, I think it's called, and you get a 2-hour boat ride to the island, and it's wow. That was one of the places that blew my mind. Thing is, with Panama, you can get your mind blown right here around the corner. So I would say like that's my top. But right there's another places, you know, there's a lot of more places.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to discovering those places. And I can really tell you're a fighter, fighting for your thing, and it's a real pleasure getting to know you. And maybe we'll have the next coffee at your amazing beach house, eh?
Yeah, for sure, man. You're going to Henao, so I can make you coffee, you can chill out there. And
Awesome.
anytime, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for the conversation.
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, help me putting out new content in the future by subscribing to my channel, and like, comment and share with your friends. If you're on an exit story yourself, I'd love to hear from you. Message me via email or social media. Always be yourself, and remember, you're not alone in this. I'm your host, Nathan Hornstein, and I'm out.